Hello again. I've got another message that I've asked Spirit to help with. And this has been about learning to stand your ground in the face of any adversity, in the face of any trouble. So, obviously I pre-shuffled and I pulled the cards. And this came out. It's time to stand up and fight. This worried me because that's an old world statement. But Spirit said it's not about fisticuff fighting. It's not about violent fighting. When it says to stand up and fight, it's talking to your inner warrior, your spiritual warrior, who fights with the light that it holds within itself, the wisdom, the knowledge, the emotional IQ that is on a higher level than the stand up and fight on the basic ground level of the 3D experiences of the past. Everything's changing. Everything is changing, they say. And we see it every day in everything that's going on. Those with eyes to see will see. If you don't believe in magic, you'll never ever see it. That both of those are standardized, probably cliche to a lot of people, sayings now. But they're still true. Cliche or not, they are true. So I asked for clarification on this. I asked Spirit for clarification. And what they gave me was the story that follows. It's time to get grounded. Time to get grounded. Time to bring all your energies into your heart space. It's no longer about the instinctive knee-jerk reactions. It's no longer about picking up arms and lashing out. It's about all the wisdom. It's about wisdom, the wisdom of the deep, the wisdom of the soul that is deep within. Now, remembering that we are not the human is part of a creation of the being that we truly are. We are the soul. We are the higher self. The human is something that we've created, the avatar, the flesh suit, the earth biosuit, so that we as the higher spirits can come here to have adventures in learning, in experiencing. Our human learns, our soul learns, our higher self knows what we've learned and knows what we're going to learn. And eventually, all those experiences come together with every other soul's experience. And that's why you carry wisdom from one life to the next life, to the next life. You also carry your baggage. And that's what creates that experience. That's what creates that heavy, dense, go to arms, lash out experience of the 3D world. Well, we're beyond that. we are moving beyond that. A lot of us are beyond that already and would rather die than take up arms. So it's time to ground into yourself, to understand the world that you are currently experiencing, because that's all it is. It's an experience. You might think jumping on a plane and going somewhere fabulous for a holiday is an experience. It is, but we've done that already. We jumped down from being a spirit down into a restrictive 3D experience. Now, the wave has turned, and now it's time to get grounded properly into the belief and the wisdom and the love of who you actually are, not what the human body knows, not what the human body thinks. So ground into the heart space, because the lower 3 energy centers, the root chakra at the genitals that govern all those instinctive genital, those survival instincts, pass on your genes, etc., etc., etc. Up beyond, it's gone up beyond the sacral chakra, that place of sexual passion and instinctive eroticism. I don't know how to explain that, but the energy of, not without getting banned anyway, but the energy of the sacral is about, it's called the sexual chakra, okay? And it's gone up beyond the solar plexus chakra, which is the energy center of the willpower and the instincts and the gut feelings. Those 3 chakras, the 2 lower ones for sure, we've risen up out of. That's the pathway of evolution, to stop focusing so much on those 2, which is the 2 that we tended to live in as part of the 3D experience. Those 2 are the ones that govern our breeding instinct, our procreative instinct. The sacral, not the sacral, the solar plexus chakra, the 3rd one that is just under the belly button. You can imagine where the other 2 are, because they come just beneath that one. So the sacral chakra is our will, our drive for survival, our instincts for survival. It's what pushes us to do the things we desire to do, to travel if we want to travel, and to party and to do all that stuff. They guide us. They are the ones that push us. That's the one that pushes us into those experiences. These 3 can easily get out of balance. For the next stage of life, these 3 need to be, they're not going to be dead. They're not going to be stopped. They're not going to be taken away. All that pleasure is not going to be removed. All that pleasure is just going to be balanced, more balanced. It's going to have more emotional energy within it, because the next chakra is the heart chakra. And this is the one that is currently the most active, the one that is evolving right now for humanity. for everyone in general. Everything that makes you feel sad, everything you see on the news that breaks your heart is moving you to work with the heart chakra, not with the lower three instinctual pick up arms and let's go running in. It's about the heart chakra. With the heart chakra, we can send love, we can heal, we can do loving things, we can create our magic in our lives, and the lives of others. We can help them with our heart chakras. But each person's responsibility is to open their own heart chakra. We are still grounded to our mother, to our earth. We are still grounded to earth because we are on earth. But we need to ground into here, into the cosmic heart chakra, the God source heart chakra, the Christ consciousness heart chakra. That's where we now need to be grounding, not in the previous chakras of flight, fright, and fawn. Have I said that right? I don't know if I've said that right, but you know what I mean. It's no longer the time to take up arms. We don't need to. If we're all grounded here, because we're automatically grounded with our mother, because we are here wearing her organisms, the skin, the organs, the hair, it's all made from Mother Earth's organisms. So we are always, always, always grounded on Mother Earth now. But it's time to start grounding in the cosmic heart space, in the divine heart space, in the true inner temple, in the Christ consciousness, the Christ awareness, the Christ love, with the God source. That's where it all has to be held. That's where all the magic happens. It does not happen in the mind. It happens in the heart, because it's all about feeling now. It's all about those feelings. Humanity has lived with a very low emotional intelligence, and now humanity is evolving towards a higher emotional intelligence, and that's where grounding into the heart comes in. That's why it's important. We still live on the earth. We will still live on the earth, even with humankind all coming together with a higher emotional intelligence level, because that's what evolution is now about. The mind, the brain, the thoughts have been able to pick things out of the world, of the energy fields around us, and create things. And what have they done with it? Because they're coming from the lower energy centers, those three lower ones, most of it, they have either created weaponry with it or removed it, such as Tesla's inventions, banned, because the powers that be, that few small handful minority of humans that hold everything, said no, because we will lose money, and we want money off those people that would get it for free. So we're moving out of that, and the world we're moving into, the world we're meant to move into now, which we were all born here to do, but not everybody's aware of that. as a fact. They think a lot of people still think it's woo-woo. Let's face it, but it's not. It's human evolution, and it's evolving into this heart space, this cosmic turtle space, where we are in league with the higher forces, not just the forces of earth nature. We are in league with the cosmic higher forces. Though we will still live on planet Earth, we will still get our food from planet Earth for quite some time before we move completely off planet Earth. But we will be doing it with more care, with more understanding, with more emotional upgrades, rather than the fight, flight and fawn upgrades, downgrades rather, the things that kept us surviving in the roughness and harshness of the kill or be killed, survival of the fittest, 3D belief systems. It's not just about the belief systems changing, believe me, it's about the heart changing. It's about where you accept your information, what information you accept, and how you express that. So it's really, really a major evolution of humankind. Whether you like it or not, it's all going to change. It's all changing, and it's gone way, way past the point of turning back. There is no going back. There is none. You will, if you choose not to, you will just stay where you are and continue to suffer, but that is your own choice, how you want. Some people are addicted to suffering because it's what they know. It's what they grew up with. It's what they have seen all their lives. It's what they've been brainwashed with. Suffering is good. Suffering gets pity. Suffering gets sympathy. Suffering makes people feel sorry for you. So that feels good. So let's keep on suffering. No. It don't work like that. That's not how it works. That keeps you stuck in misery. It keeps you stuck in all the old patterns that you've had before. All those old patterns that just keep bringing it all up and up and up. And what you bring up from deep inside with those old patterns creates thoughts that just create more of the same. And you can't break that. It's a cycle. It's a Groundhog Day. You can't break it. You can move on slightly, but you cannot break it until you go here, until you connect here with this centering point. This is where you have to be centered to evolve. Okay, that was a bit longer than I expected. Love with love and kindness. That is what you get from the heart center. That is where we need to ground now. We need to become aware of our own emotional intelligence levels, and we need to make them higher. You've all heard of the IQ. Well, there is an EQ as well. Most people still value the IQ and still have the judgments of stupid and intelligent. The IQ, that's the level of the IQ. That's how people generally think of the IQ. And everybody wants to score major high on the IQ because they want to that pride to say, well, my IQ is this and this number. So that makes me desirable, lovable, appreciated, blah, de blah, de blah, de blah. But it's all from those lower 3 chakras. It's the 4th chakra that is the important one now. The EQ, the emotional quotient, the emotional intelligence of humanity. Because not everybody wants to live with love and kindness. Like I said, they can get addicted to the hormones created by the negativity of those lower 3 chakras. So, what that results in, when you live from that central loving heart space instead of those lower 3 survival, pass on your genes, etc., space, kill or be killed space. When you live from the heart space, the cosmic turtle space, you can see that all those obstacles that are in your life are illusions. They're not even real. They are held on to simply because you keep choosing to hold those same thoughts. Those same thoughts that drag you down all the time, that keep you stuck in that repetitive cycle of Groundhog Day. Oh, I can't do this. Oh, I'm ugly. Oh, I need to get Botox, or I'm not intelligent enough to do this, or that, or the other. The lower chakras make us think, oh, I can go abroad and have a sunshine holiday. Yay! Still fantastic. Of course it is. But it doesn't solve anything. It doesn't remove all the hatred and anger that you're storing in your body. It relaxes you for a while, but it doesn't remove it all. In fact, for a lot of people, traveling creates even more. But once you get to your nice destination, the fun distracts you from that. But it's still there. It's still grounded in your body. It doesn't go away until you take on that loving kindness to yourself and to everything else. That, because then you notice that everything in life is just an illusion. And it's only your feelings that are real. It's only how you feel, the emotions that you choose to experience. Create your own reality. Your brain, you all know, whether you know about all this woo-woo or not, but you all know the brain has a neurological system, and it takes so long to create a pattern. Well, if you focus all the time on things that make you unhappy, angry, or believe things like, I will never get this, I will never be that, then yeah, that's what you'll get. You'll never get this, you'll never get that. Because your brain won't let you, because your brain only knows what it's programmed to do. It only reads the programs. And it's up to you, yourself, to understand how illusory those obstacles are. They are make-believe. Because it's your emotions, your passions, that create your reality itself. Last card. It's time. It's time to tell your story. But what story are you going to tell? Are you going to tell the story of how useless I am, how ugly I am. I need to lose so much weight to be acceptable. I need to do this and do that, and I need to, whether it makes you happy or not, you might have a job that makes you so miserable. It might bring you so close to suicide. It might even take you over into suicide. I know people that have done that. But it's not doing you any good. You might be earning loads of money doing it. But if it's not giving you what you really want inside, what you really desire, which is that loving kindness, you have to feel it inside yourself, and therefore you have to make your life in a way that gives that to you, that makes you feel that in your own heart space. Because it doesn't come from the brain. The brain only gives us thoughts. The thoughts give us feelings. And if your thoughts are negative, your feelings are going to be negative, which is going to generate more negative thoughts, which is feeding power into those thoughts. What do you think witchcraft is? It's not a secret anymore. We manifest by feeding power, emotional power, into our thoughts. Whether they're negative or whether they're positive makes absolutely no difference. Because the truth is that is what creates your future. How you feel right now with the thoughts that you're thinking that are creating hormones in your body that generate yet more is creating your next step, your future. Have you got the guts to change the way you're thinking? Have you got the guts to let go of those addictions that hold you tight and dependent on what you've always known? Every negative that you think about yourself or that you believe about yourself, because whenever you think it, you believe it that little bit more, because it gets on that track in your brain, that neurological track, and strengthens that same belief. So every time you think it, positive or negative, it's recreating it. Have you got the strength to let that go, to let that change? Many people rely on the pity and sympathy of others to get them through things. Friends are powerhouses for us because we can discuss things with them. We can give them our truth. And that's what this is. This is our truth. Make your story one about your highest truth. What is your highest dream for you? Does your brain say, do your thoughts say, sod that girl or boy, you're not good enough for that. You're not worthy of that shit. Oops, sorry Facebook. You're not worthy of all that. Then you're keeping yourself trapped, because it's all an illusion brought up by your brain, by the patterns that you've built, by the pathways that you've built in your brain. It's like, an example is body memory, muscle memory. When you do something, you do it enough times that you can do it without thinking. You don't even have to think about it. Your muscles know what to do. Okay? Once you've learnt to walk as a baby, you never ever have to learn. Well, hopefully not, unless you have an accident or an illness. You'll never ever have to learn to do it again, because it's in the brain. And the way you think is exactly the same. You've got to change those pathways, those certain pathways. That's why shadow work is important. That's what shadow is. It's all those negative neural pathways that you've built up. And all you've got to do is work, commit to yourself, and work on those neural pathways. Make them stronger. Make those positive, habitual strengths in the way that you think. Notice when it's coming out all negative. Stop it. Change it. Let the negative ones fly by, like little birdies on the way, migrating south, migrating north, wherever they're going. But let them go. And put the birds of your own choice in there. Tell yourself your own story. A new story about you. Tell yourself that new story. And then once you tell yourself that new story about you, you can then, well, it's not even a matter of can. It's a matter of you do tell a new story about everybody, about everything, because it's all different. And you'll learn that you can manifest. And it doesn't take that long. It took me years to manifest something. But I've been at this since I was a kid, knee-high to a grasshopper. But in the early days, it took me so long. Years and years, I'd say decades, to manifest what I needed. What I desired, never mind needed. But all those years I was in a place to need, because I knew I don't have it, I don't have it, I don't have it. And I never had it. Then one day, I got it. I understood it. And it's the same with everything. And there's always something else that needs to be worked on. Always, always, always. But once you tell yourself your story, find out what your negative story is. Swap it for a positive story about you. Well, don't forget, we were all brought up to be self-defacing. Very few of us were ever brought up to be proud of ourselves, because let's face it, pride was a sin. Was a sin. Pride was a sin. It's not a sin. Pride is self-love. Just don't take it to extremes, because it's all about that heart balance. That heart is the center of the body, and it's all about that balance. Above it is helpful pride that keeps you strong and in your own power as a loving being, as loving kindness, knowing that all the obstacles are just illusory and that you can get over them. You can. They're more like hurdles that you can jump. And all the lower ones are those negative ones. And I've totally just distracted myself now and come out of spirit. Okay. Sorry, spirit. Okay, so basically, tell your own story. Thank you, spirit. Thank you. Learn the story that you daily tell yourself. Replace it for a new one coming from the heart space. Where's she gone? Coming from, that's what distracted me from spirit before. That's what took me away from spirit, from that space. Replace the negative one of that. That's the negative. Replace the negative with this one. And tell yourself a new story based on this one, on this center, instead of this one. I won't say it's easy, but shadow work is an amazing tool. And if you need help, I read the cards. I use them for shadow work. I use them for spiritual work. If you need help, just ask. Okay? I do tarot readings and all right. Yeah, I've lost spirit, so I'm rambling now. Okay. So I'm going to close this down now. I'm going to shut this down now because spirit have gone. I can feel the disconnect. So spirit are not here anymore. So I'm going to shut this down. I don't like to do it off my own back. My own brain has the same problems as everybody else's. So, love you and leave you. I hope this helps someone. Please let me and my spirits know. Although my spirits will already know. They're already watching. So let me know, because my little human needs to know whether she's going wrong somewhere. Okay? All right. Love you all. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Sorry for rambling.